Hey everybody, this is Linda Mayo, and it's encouragement to cancer in life. And I wanted to share this with you. It was a heavy heart that I'm doing this, and spirit is concerning my former husband, Reverend LaVelle Artis, and he passed away. I got word that he passed away the day after Thanksgiving. And I've been trying to keep it solid as far as my emotions together, but it doesn't leave me. You know, I think about the times that I shared with him. Because you divorce someone doesn't mean that you have no more feelings for that individual. That's going to be there if you're serious about how you feel. Anger will be there, pain, but that's the stuff that we're supposed to let go of. But that's easier said than done, and all of us don't do a good a job as we should do than some might. And I'm certainly confessing my stuff because I can and will do a lot better job on trying to forgive and let go. Because he is now home with the Lord, and I am still here with emotions of I woulda, shoulda, coulda. Just the fact that I wish that I would have been able to say, I forgive you, and mean it with everything in my heart, because too much anger was there, too much hurt was there from the divorce itself. Too many things that I focus on, the negative things in that relationship rather than the positive ones. And I'm going to focus on those positive ones now to say something about him. He did not pass away here. He passed away in another state outside of Ohio. And that is upsetting itself to me, that he was taken from his home where he was somewhere else. I don't know the particular circumstances that I would care to share with anyone, because that is personal, or personal things that I do know about it. I won't be sharing it. That is a personal side of it, that sometimes you don't share everything, and there's no purpose of it. The purpose of that, as long as, you know, I can deal with that on my own. But I did want to share with you and who he was as a pastor, as a man called of God, that he filled those shoes. He filled them, and I'm going to say more steadfast than a lot of people. He went above and beyond his duty as pastor, just in the pulpit. He was carpenter, roofer, electrician, janitor, painter, mechanic, everything. The church was small, but yet it prospered in spite of the fact that he did most of the stuff himself, because he didn't have a big congregation to where, you know, they could help him out and stuff like that, and delegate things to do. He was the main source that did it all, and myself, standing in that role with him to do anything from everything I had to do: wallpapering, painting, cleaning toilets, cooking the men and women's dinners and stuff. We didn't order that out. That was made at home between the two of us, and then transported to the church. And I was with him for over 20 years. So that was a long time. It was a lot of hard work. And when you put stress and everything else, different things going on personally in the middle of that, when you don't have a big congregation, when everything is on you to do it. You don't have a lot of people you're delegating. See, I know what people are going through now, that have churches, that has, small congregations. So I understand. But I want to say again that he was born in Braddox, PA, 1945, and September 30th. I was born September 27th, 1952. And again, we met, fell in love. I wanted to get married. He swept me off my feet. Flowers, just everything. Couldn't hang up the phone for no reason, just flowers. Coming to the door with flowers. So it was a romantic courtship. I thought, is this man live or he Memorex? Because but he made sure that he let me know that he wanted to be there for me and to get married. Okay. Again, so many things that enter into a relationship when you start one, and that you don't foresee. But that's what your vows are for. You mean them. I was sick a lot. Okay. And with respiratory issues and so forth. And so that also, by him being a workaholic in the church, so he needed everybody and all hands, me particularly, on deck with him, because he was never ending. When he wasn't in the pulpit, he was at the church building doing all the labor work. He did it. The people that he did have working there, or first of all, when we got married, and the building was bought, it was just him and I in the beginning. I mean, he had someone, when they bought the building, there was just a bunch of stuff happening in the beginning with him and the people that he had bought the building with, and they left, and so it was he and I in the building, and my family, my children, and my relatives started to attend to support, and and people started to slowly come in, but the congregation never got really big, okay? But again, he carried the whole building, everything. He was it. And you don't find that in a lot of pastors today. Like, if they've got to be the one-man show and everything, not just behind the pulpit, where it's, look at me, or delegating orders. But when he is the show and everything, and if it don't get done, he got to do it. And not only he's the one doing it and striving to do it. And so we started off, we did have a food ministry there as well. We had a after school homework program. He and I, we took the classes together. He then turned around and we applied for grants we had college students coming in for the after school homework program to teach the children. The college students got credit for what they did, college credit for coming in to teach the children in the after school homework program. And so we needed computers. We applied for grants at different places. We received the grants. After that, we other people, organizations that we had contacted, with another church organization that had gave, something like $20,000. So, and another grant from somewhere else. The point is, the funding was there when we were going through. God blessed the building. He blessed Reverend Artis and myself with the financial grant when we needed them. The point is that the congregation, the after school homework program was a success, but the sanctuary was not. I want to say the pulpit, the sanctuary did not attract enough people to bring in the ties to keep it going. So again, it was on our pockets to keep it going. Not people that we can look to where ties were going, but I was baking cakes and having yard sales. I was selling whole cakes to the people in the neighborhood. So for my fundraiser, yeah. So I had back surgery during that time as well, and we're almost to make it. And but God, come on. So it was just an amazing ride with him. We started a daycare. Well, one thing would not go right. He switched gears and took classes for his license for daycare. And he took the classes and I typed the homework. So we were a team. And that teamwork is what I, short-sighted, didn't see coming. Because I didn't think that it would end in a divorce. Because I don't believe in divorces, okay? I didn't ask for that divorce. He was a Vietnam veteran, heavily decorated. Purple Heart, a lot of other medals. I was in the process of applying for them when we were going through the divorce. So I quit, of course, and trying to get them because we were going through that. There was no point in that, okay, to me. And then I was so hurt by that, I didn't want to talk to him anymore. I didn't want to speak to him. I didn't want to look at him. And I thought all those years that I wasted, but it wasn't wasted. Because so many people, the young children that was in the after-school homework program was blessed from the church. They were blessed. Thankful Missionary Baptist Church. He named the church. The churches that went through there, that fellowship with us, blessed us by coming in to fellowship with Reverend LaVelle Artis. And I just thank God that he was the type of man that loved the Lord. In spite of the difficulties that we had, didn't make him any less of a man who he was. His ability to run that church, the gifts that God gave him, his steadfastness over everything. He was going to the prison, to the jail, delivering sermons to the inmates. And which you guys wouldn't know that because you weren't there. He was also he didn't allow me at the jail with him, but he and I would go to the nursing home and we would do an after service there at one particular nursing home. It was the one on 12th Street. And then another one we'd go and do a basket and take some things to the senior citizens in the nursing home. We would do that. So we never stopped doing. It was no such thing as stop. Again, it was full speed ahead. I couldn't keep up. I could not. I was sick. I had breathing issues and stuff like that, with the same thing that I deal with right now. And so it didn't go. It ended in divorce. And after it did, he was persistent. Let me say that my family never hated LaVelle. Never stopped talking to LaVelle. My children either. He visited my daughter's children, which is his, grandchildren or step-grandchildren, after I was divorced. Bake cakes, go over there, sit with, home visit with them, get together with my 3 young adults that he has, been around. I talked to them on the phone. No one hated him because he and I were divorced. I didn't want to have anything to do with him. He tried so many people for me to talk to him again and getting the best man to call, and nothing would work because I had that, I don't want to see you I want to talk about this. You know, you ruined my life. You ruined our life. And how dare you? But nothing. But now, when I found out that he was in trouble or needed assistance and I could not find him, I turned Ohio upside down. Everywhere looking for him, calling everywhere to find him. My daughter first of all led the whole thing because she was, again, close to him by him visiting with the children and stuff like that, and looking, searching Facebook and everywhere for him. And then I started in, because I'm thinking, going by the house, saying he don't answer the door, calling the phone, calling his cell phone. And when we did find out that he was out of state, we found out again by me going through the police department. I was on the verge of passing a missing persons nationwide, filing it. And the other state too, checking other leads they had. There's very kind people at the police department. They were out of state. They were. Everyone was rooting me on. We hope you find him. And then when I got word of what was going on, I was really upset, and I was just in a panic to just get to him in time. And that's all my spirit said. And I pray, God, let me get to him in time. Well, I didn't. And then I heard word again that he had passed away. And how he passed is going to be between God, because I don't have a death certificate. Until I see a death certificate, I will never take the word of how he passed anyway, okay? I heard it was lung cancer, whether I believe it or not, until I see a death certificate. No, I don't believe any of that, okay? I don't know how he passed. I was told. Only God knows that. I do know that I wished that he was here. I wish that I could have taken myself and said, LaVelle, I forgive you. Because if I would have known that he was sick, or my family members would have known, my children would have known, my daughter, we certainly would have taken care of him right here. And I certainly would have contacted the people that came to the church, all the pastors and all of you guys that knew him. And we would have prayer over him and with him and encouraged his spirit and made his days that he had left here in the time of our parting of ways, but coming together at the same time to where we could end all bad feelings and get it right. But I'm so sorry that I was not granted that opportunity or that thoughtfulness, or he wasn't, to consider that, you know, we were married for 20 some years and I should have been contacted, or at least tried to be with everything in them before, you know, he was taken out of state. I wasn't. He, feeling, I'm sure, alone. But again, I just thank God for the time that I spent with him, the experiences that I had with him, what we did together as husband and wife. I just thank God for it. I'm going to read a sermon that he did on 4/28/02. And you see, I have this Bible. It's the same one that I had when I was, before I married him, in fact. And it was 4/28/02. And I always put Pastor Artis when he's in it. It's called Never Alone. And this says, the everlasting presence and power of God. Psalms 139, 1 through the 14th verse. And it says, O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my down sitting and my uprising. Thou understandest my thoughts afar off. Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thine hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I cannot attain unto it. Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. I take the wings of the mornings and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea. Even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. For thou hast possessed my reins. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. I thank God that I can read this sermon that he gave on 4/28/02. This being 2022. And we were married in 1998. I thank God that I had the privilege and the honor to work with him, to work beside him, to work as a servant in the body of Christ with the people of the community, the church that attended there at Thankful Missionary Baptist Church at 2411 Gilbert Avenue Northeast. I thank you for serving with us. I thank you for walking with us, for supporting us, for loving us. LaVelle would say thank you. So on his behalf, I say thank you. On behalf of LaVelle and myself, the members of the congregation of Thankful Missionary Baptist Church, when we were together as a church before it was sold, and the parsonage was sold, I say thank you. God bless you, and I want you to always remember him as who he was. A man of God, faithful, strong, independent, doing the work of the Lord. And I know that when he drew his last breath, to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. He's home, where he deserved to be. Regardless of any divorce that happened between he and I, made him no less of a man, no less of a father, no less of a son, a brother, and he should have been honored and respected as such. Okay? But there was no funeral here in Ohio. I don't know anything about a funeral being where he was taken to. I asked to have the body brought back here so that we all could honor him, the people that were here, that served with him. But that didn't happen. And I received no return phone calls at all. The police did come here, and they did come in the house, and he told me that he had passed away. And so I wanted to tell you that as well, because I couldn't rest until I did. I couldn't rest. I just thank God for his peace that surpasses all understanding. I mean, he lived a hard life. He was faithful. He lived an emotional life, but he was faithful. And I've never met another man that worked as hard as he did and was committed to the body of Christ the way he was, to his ministry, to his calling. And again, I'm just thankful to be able to say some kind words and some thoughtful words and some, I hope, healing words and some acknowledging words to those that may see this, to know what happened to him. Okay, we come in this world, and I think we also deserve a closing in this world, a closure to where people that you work with know what happened to you, that you are no longer with us, and that you did step into eternity with Jesus Christ. So God bless you. Thank you for tuning in with me here and letting me share this with you. This is up close and personal. This is Linda Bell, Encouragement Through Cancer and Life. God bless you. Thank you.